Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with Monday Night Raw, broadcast live last night on the USA Network from the TD Garden Arena in Boston. In the main event, the War Raiders defeated JD McDonough and Finn Balor to win the WWE World Tag Team Championship. This marks the second World Tag Team title reign for the War Raiders, previously known as the Viking Raiders, and ends the reign of Balor and McDonough at 176 days. CM Punk was confronted by Seth Rollins during the opening promo segment of the show, leading to a pull-apart brawl between the two.
He said it was only a matter of time before they lock up in the ring, Wade. They may just brawl outside of it.
Oh,
here they go! CM Punk, Seth freaking Rollins, right to the barrier.
10 years worth of simmering bile has just boiled over. And now security and officials heading out here.
See the referees, producers, security, quick to break them up. Just beyond the barrier to our right, ringside.
So the opening salvo last week.
Oh, Punk is loose!
This one.
Punk is loose!
Not so much.
They're still going at it!
Later backstage during another promo segment, Drew McIntyre was jumped by Sami Zayn. In other results, Braun Breaker retained the Intercontinental title against Ludwig Kaiser, and Zoe Stark advanced in the Women's Intercontinental title tournament with a triple threat win over Kaden Carter and Raquel Rodriguez.
Oh no! Missile dropkick, Zoe Stark!
Hit the target right on the spot, and now Kaden Carter's all alone in the ring.
C360 chance. This to advance out of the first round. Zoe Stark!
In ratings news, SmackDown last Friday drew a viewership of 1.530 million to USA Network, according to WrestleNomics. That's up from the previous week's audience of 1.494 million. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .47, also up from the previous week's .44. AEW Rampage, which also aired on Friday night, drew an audience of 279,000 to TNT, according to WrestleNomics. That's up from 177,000 the week prior. The 18 to 49-year-old demographic rating for Rampage was a .08, up 100% from the previous week's rating of .04. And finally, in TNA wrestling news, yesterday saw a series of talent departure announcements, with Kushida finishing up his obligations with the company at last weekend's TV tapings, according to Mike Johnson, who also reported that Trent Seven was done with the company. Also finishing up at last weekend's tapings, according to Johnson, was ring announcer Jade Chung, whose contract expires at the end of the year. It was also reported by Fightful that AJ Francis is set to have his contract expire at the end of the year, and it is not known yet if a new contractual agreement will be made. These departures all come after Rhino last Friday announced that he would also be done with TNA after the weekend tapings. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.